This is Odin's Wolf Survival, and today we're testing the Royal Oak starter squares. These are made for charcoal, but I'm thinking they might work alright for in the oh crap bag. We're going to see if they're waterproof. Got one out already. We'll let it sit in the water for a little bit, see what it does. And we're going to take another one. I'm guessing these are wax base. Doesn't say on the package. They say to set a square or two in the middle of your charcoal, so I'm guessing they're intended for the barbecue grill, would be my thought. It says use 1 or 2 squares in the center of charcoal and light. They're made in Poland. So we're going to test a few things. We're going to do a burn test on them. They look like layered paper or something along that line. Not necessarily paper, but like a coarse paper or something along that line. And wax. I mean, they're real flaky. And they're in layers. You can see they're in layers. So it's pressed whatever. I'm going to set that up so we can get... With any of these others, especially if they're wax based like this, the wax will come out and then the bottom won't burn, so you won't get a complete burn. So we're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna light it up. Got a little bit of a breeze here in the Great Forest of Kansas, so we'll see how well this burns and how long. Well, they don't go out easy in the wind, that's a plus. They don't smoke a great deal, so that's another plus. They do a little bit, but nothing huge. That's a fairly impressive little fire there. I think these come from the Dollar General. They were sent to me to test out, so here it goes. I think I saw them there. I'm not 100% positive, and I don't believe they were very expensive. Which, if that's the case, you've got 24 blocks like that, which you can easily cut down to whatever size of block you want for the situation you're in, especially if it turns out that they're waterproof. Because I think with that frayed up edge like that, a fire steel should ignite that fairly readily, and we'll check that too. You can see where it's burning the fuel out of that already, around the edges that are turning gray. We'll know exactly because I can run it down. I can run it second by second on the video, but that is not bad. And it looks like it's got a lot of fuel left to go. You can see it's using up fuel pretty fast now. All the gray ash all the way around the edges, that's pretty well spent. It's burned down. Well, I think it's out of fuel for the most part. Did pretty good. It didn't, once the breeze blew it out, it doesn't seem to want to stay lit, so we'll let it go at that. We'll call it close to 10 minutes. Now let's see if the wet one will burn. I don't know, judging by the feel of it, I don't think so. No, it does not do water. So no, I probably wouldn't recommend this for the shite bag, because if it won't deal with water, that's pretty much a no-go for me. Just, I know how Murphy has basically bent me over and called me Becky a few times. And I can guarantee you, I don't care what you've got it in, it's gonna get wet when you really, really need it. That's the way life is. Okay, now we're gonna try the fire steel. So to make this work, well, the way I can figure to make it work, we'll flake up an area to get the tiny little fibers going, like so. Then we'll get that nasty lighter out of the way, and we'll get some there it goes. Actually did it. I was kind of starting to wonder there for a minute. That's all right. That's another plus in its favor. If you can light it with a fire steel. Now, what would be really impressive is if it light up with a flint and steel, but I don't know. I don't think it will. That'd be a whole different video I'm gonna do, I think, on different things that you can light with a flint and steel, just for grins. Let's see if we can actually make that burn by. That's the one that's been soaking in water. It feels dampish, so I don't expect it to go. You'll have to cook the water out of it first. I see it starting to smoke, but it's taking an awful lot of heat to get it to smoke, so again, you'd be on it with a lighter for quite a while if you got it wet. Now, if you took these cubes and you dipped them in wax, like paraffin wax, just coated them over, and then as you when you go to use them, cut a bit off or cut sections out of them. You could even pre-score them and break them off as you use them. That would tend to make it a little more waterproof if you're going to go that route to use this, but there's other things out there that you can use it. Personally, I like tinder tabs, but this is actually working. Now it's catching fire, so it does have a pretty fair degree of water resistance, just not enough, because you could feel it in there, and it's taken quite a little bit of heat to get it going, but it is burning, so it's not completely saturated out with water. I think they're relatively inexpensive, so I mean, if you're going for the bang for the buck, this sort of thing, or some of the other stuff I've done will actually work for you. You've got this doesn't have the mess that the Vaseline and the cotton balls have, because that slimes up everything. I don't care what you do with it. You know, I keep hearing, well, put it in a pill bottle. You know, I haven't found a pill bottle that'll take 200 pounds stepping on it or 200 pounds falling on it in a pack, which has been done several times, which really irritates the crap out of me. You know, Murphy. You gotta remember Murphy. Murphy's always along, and Murphy's always waiting to stick it in and break it off. He's a friendly dude that way. So these are actually burning pretty good. I'm pretty amazed, and that one actually did light up once you got a little heat on it, and not as much as I thought. So it did have some water in it, but not nearly as much. You can tell by the black smoke, it's got a little bit of dampness to it. They're, like I said, they're the Royal Oak starter squares. I think they're in the charcoal section at the DG. You know, I recall that's where I saw them. I don't think they're all that terribly much. Again, if I can get the price, I will. But they're, like I said, they're made in Poland, and they're 24 squares, of which you could easily get 6 more squares if you cut it out for what you're doing. So that would give you a lot of little starter deals to add to your kit. And if you waterproof those or wax those again, a little bit of work, but if you're on a budget and things are tight, which God knows they are now, because you can pick up a dollar candle there and melt it down in an empty tuna can, take a toothpick, dip in your little squares one at a time, and you're good to go. Anywhere you can save $1, and then you could add simple and easy to your kit.